I want to thank the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council for the grant to do these live streams. Greatly appreciated. And I love entering the joy of creativity and sharing it with others. So that's what we're going to do. These are all 20 of these live streams on Mondays and Thursdays at noon Central Time are going to be about painting. And we can only teach what we know. So I've never had an art class. Let's start there and go with, even though my collection of 15 species of crane paintings was published, so we don't have to learn any other way than our way. So whatever works for you is what you should do. And I'm going to start with Sumi brush stroke because that's where I started nearly half a century ago. And I did it as a meditation, which is why I'm going to show you a way they teach little children usually, but it doesn't matter what age we do it. Our childlike wonder can always be accessed. And the older we get, the more important it is to access it. So we're going to do some Sumi brushstroke in front of you. I'm going to show my son, Bodhi, the movie maker, who's doing the technical part of this. He's going to come out and try some of these. So he's a novice. These will be the first time he does it. So you can see how easy it is. There's no wrong way to do it. I highly suggest you don't get hurt or hurt anyone else or waste, but everything else is fine. There is no failure when we learn from everything we do. So the most important teacher is our own enjoyment. So find things you enjoy doing, creativity that gives you joy. And for me, the Sumi brushstroke, any kind of painting is very meditative. It increases my serenity. So who doesn't need more serenity in these times? It's always something humans have needed. And that's why these ancient art forms, that's what it came from. So do we have the Four Seasons scroll paintings? Hi, Bodhi. Thanks for your help. I really appreciate it. And I couldn't do this without you.
Happy to help. And we got a comment from Meg Litz. So much talent.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We all have creativity. It flows through anybody that lets it. And that's why when I was an artist in residence in the schools, every first grader could dance color, could tell a story with the dance, could make up a poem about the dance, could play music, make music about the poem. Doesn't matter if we don't let doubt stop us. And so my as a creativity coach, counsel is just enjoy it and learn as you go. And you don't hurt yourself or anybody else, and you don't waste money you don't have. Just do things that are easy and frugal and fast and have fun.
I don't have my bells, so when I pop on, that means there's a comment. Meg, hi back to you, Meg. And Joni B on YouTube said, I'm excited to learn about this.
Great. It's so wonderful. I love these virtual visits. I really feel you. And it's really nice to walk lighter on the planet, but connect with each other virtually. It makes social media meaningful instead of anti-social media where people are fighting and arguing. Here we're encouraging each other to be more creative and to express ourselves creatively, which if we express emotions, stimulates our immune system, heals us, increases our peace, heals the world. So that's what it's all about. So let's show some where this can go with the 4 scroll paintings. This is, do you have them one at a time?
I do.
So let's show them one at a time so they can see a little of the...
Let's see. I'm going to try to get them in order, guys. All right. No, that's not the one. So let's go winter first, right?
Yes, winter. And I'm also going to show you a quick little tutorial on how to make these scroll frames. The fastest, most frugal way to frame. I've been framing my own art, and I used to do it for a living to augment my fine art income. So I've come up with some very simple. I like simple. It's my aesthetic. Gravitates to minimalism. As a little girl, my mother would let me go to art museums. That's my happy place. And I would always find myself gravitating to the Asian art, which you can see in my aesthetic. The peaceful, minimalist, simple aesthetic. So now let's try a little Sumi brush stroke. Are you ready?
Let's do it, yeah. Meg said, so thrilled to be able to join in with a master artist, painter, and more.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm always learning. I'm always trying stuff I've never done before. And now Bodhi, who barely fits in this thing, you can see he's significantly larger than me. Well, there you go. So I'm always trying new stuff. I love to keep exploring, keep expanding, and it's exciting to do new stuff. So here we are with what we call the Sumi ink, and this Suzuri is the stone that we mix the ink, the Sumi ink stick on the stone, and this is part of what's meditative about it.
Maybe I'll zoom it in a little bit for them. And you can tell them we've got an overhead camera for the next portion.
Yes, you're going to see up close when I work on the table soon. But for right now, we wanted you to be able to see both of us. But this is how this Sumi inks works. And this is part of why it's a meditative process, is we mix a little bit of water with the Sumi stick. Now, this material you can paint on many things. Rice paper is, is also very reactive. Hello.
Maybe I should put it back up.
A little bit, yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Sumi is traditionally done on rice paper, but this is giclée fabric that was donated to us. So thank you, Lisa, for that. I really appreciate it. And I always try to use what I have, which is part of a way that I keep challenging my creative resourcefulness. It's use what you have. So the first thing we're going to do today is a little bamboo exercise and some blades of grass. So I'm going to show Bodhi, and then he's going to try, and he hasn't done it before, so it's going to be interesting to see a first timer. Now with the bamboo, we're going to use the brush sideways. So the first thing I do before putting something on the material, I'm going to have, these are scraps because we don't like to waste. So we're using scraps, but it's thicker down here, so I turned it around. So I think, where is this bamboo going to grow? And straight up is not as aesthetically pleasing as a slight lean. Though bamboo can grow very straight, but not completely straight. It's not a ruler. So here we go. All right. Now, we can see that there was not that much pigment in the brush. So I'm going to dip more into the watery ink part to do one more before we give it to Bodhi to try. And this one will have a little more ink, Sumi ink in the brush.
Well, I think now that you're doing it, I should get the camera closer.
Okay. Now we don't want to, in nature there is a balance created by, bless you, organized randomness, I'm going to call it. So we don't want to do it the same as these ones, this one we've already got on here. So this time this one is a little less pigment, so it's going to go behind. Okay, here we go. So sideways.
Oh, yeah.
All righty. So we get to see the difference between very little pigment and a lot. And so we saw that down, up, down, up, down, up. And I like to paint like I'm dancing and dance like I'm painting and just mix up all the arts because for me, everything is connected. All right, now I'm going to help you get the right amount of.
Thank you, Meg. She said, bless you, Bodhi.
Okay, so I'd say, now decide where your bamboo is going to grow.
I feel like it's growing that way.
Okay.
A little bit diagonal.
All right. So relax and give it a go. Nice. Nice.
My bamboo is growing.
All right. So now I'm going to give us a smaller brush with a lot more water by dipping it in the water first.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to.
So it's like kind of like bones. You can feel the joints between the bamboo sections.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to give you a little. And we'll give you.
Is it ready?
No. The one thing that you need, well, there's a number of things you want to be careful about, but one is that you don't have too much water in your brush because it will just get absorbed by this giclée fabric and spread where you may not want it to. So that's why we have this, you go in here and then it gets a lot of the water out.
All right, this one will intersect. All right.
Lovely. Now we're going to give you a saturated big guy in here, and then we're going to go for some.
So Meg said, "Nice." Thank you, Meg. She also said, "Oh, it's too complimentary for me to read, but I guess I will anyways. Love how uninhibited Bodhi is. You clearly raised him to be curious and confident in trying a variety of medium for expression."
Thank you for both of us. Yes, I think the best we can do as a guide for anyone else, especially our children, is encourage them to have fun learning. But that's whatever we enjoy, where we have the most energy for. We learn the most when we're enjoying it. So encourage ourselves, each other, to just have fun doing it, learning. Don't worry about competing with anyone else. That doesn't matter. And what matters is that we keep exploring our own curiosity. Okay, let's give you one more. 3 is a good number. I find odd numbers more aesthetically pleasing most of the time. There are no absolute rules except for don't hurt yourself, anybody else. Those are the only rules. Okay, so I think your brush is ready for a big guy.
A big guy, huh?
Now, when it's more dense, it goes in front because it's closer to your eye, so you see more color the closer things are, or more pigment, closer things are to you.
I think I'm going to take inspiration from this one, and we're going to go leftish now.
You can.
Right up the middle. Oh.
That's all right.
Oh.
Good.
I feel feels very primitive.
So one of the things I learned first was the 5 blades of grass study in Sumi brushstroke, and they teach you how to hold the brush. So it's like holding a bird, a little baby bird. You want it to not crush it, but you want to support it. So you want to not be tight, but fluid. So now we're going to do some leaves, some bamboo leaves.
Claire Boisano says, enjoying learning something new.
Thank you. Nice that you're here. Okay, so this is a little leaf. Let's do, whoops, I should have held the paper, but it doesn't matter because
Make sure to hold the paper, people.
leaves come in all shapes and sizes. So
Christina E. Phelps, such talent.
oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
Okay, let me help you with the leaf.
Give me the leaf technique.
The leaf technique is that you want to, I'm trying to articulate that. The base of the leaf is the thickest, and then it usually comes to a nice little point. So thick, thin.
Right, so the pressure variation.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, didn't quite get it there. Yeah, it takes. So another thing that she's using a unique type of medium here that is a little bit more challenging.
It is.
It's what we've got.
Yes, but then again, challenges are good. They expand us. So I'm going to look at this and say, you know, it doesn't need a whole lot more for my eye to be, well, first of all, it's a test. So, but the leaf technique is down and up. Okay, down and up. Like it grew there. Down and up.
Very calligraphic.
Okay, you want to try a couple more leaves and then we're going to go to the table.
Sure, it's up to you. You're the master. You tell me.
Well, let me give this, oops. Well, there we go. Okay, so now we get to learn to work with our mishap. So that means I'm going to do a
Nice. Yeah, I like the bamboo part. That part feels right.
Get more in your brush before you try the leaf part. And now it's all about flow. So
You gotta make the sounds. Okay, so
let me get this brush out of the way. Nice. Nice. Now go another direction because that's how it usually works in the world of bamboo. And since these are tests, I'm just going to overdo it here just to show some more of the leaf technique, which is...
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Part of that is we need some this brush is kind of too big for the leaf, but...
And then I remember seeing you sometimes put a line on the outside of the bamboo stalk to give it a little bit more.
Well, actually,
dimension.
let's show you how that can happen kind of naturally by... Let's go... No.
We've been about 15 minutes into the
Okay.
live stream or more.
Okay. That one is a little brushier. Now it's turning into a bamboo forest, which is fine.
Our boys in O said, "Go Bodie!"
Yeah.
All right. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like a window into a monochromatic bamboo garden.
There we
I
go.
love that.
Well, thank you.
Good job.
Well, there we go. That's a nice little test. Now, I'm going to show you, and Bodhi's going to show you this. Well, let's get them. That I started yesterday, and it's in process. So he's going to
figure out where I can situate this camera.
Okay, well, I'm going to go over here. I don't need to have this up during this, but I just wanted to show that's where it's at. And by Thursday, it'll probably be done. But I like to show in process. So there we go. Now you want to show this one coming into being.
Sure.
And
I'm going to turn this camera on now so that I can control it from in the office.
Okay, and I'm going to get my brushes.
Okay, you get yours. So where you're going to be there?
I'm going to be here. And after you show that, coming to that point, then you're going to show this, and then I'm going to work on doing something in front of the camera over here.
That's where the camera now is, so that's where we should do it, yes. Okay, and hey Joni, excuse me, I wasn't able to see YouTube while I was in there, so let's read Joni's comments. Wow, beautiful technique, and would this bamboo technique work with other watercolor paints? Absolutely.
And the next thing we're going to show you has watercolor. I actually added watercolor and pencil so that it would be a demonstration of different mediums combined. So there's that, and this waterfall mountainscape that I'm working on also has watercolor in it. So watercolor is great. It's my favorite medium. I love the Sumi-E for the monochromatic, dramatic. It's amazing what we can express, even black and white, monochromatically, the feeling. And I love to combine color with it. This was my first test of this on this fabric, this giclée fabric. And it's a little, well, it's not to my level. I like it, but it lost some of the light. And I like to have the light. One of my policies is don't lose the light, meaning you want things to be translucent, like the flower petals. To have them be the color I wanted, they got a little too opaque. Yes?
Claire Boisano asked for the name and the spelling of the materials. I put that on the screen. The Sumi-E ink and the Suzuri grinding stone.
Right. Okay. Now we're going to show you.
I'm going to reposition this camera so we don't have a light right behind your head.
Okay.
This a little bit brighter.
There we go. Nice. Nice. Okay. So this was a test. Before I did this, this was my first step with this Clare fabric that was donated. And so I just tried a bunch of different brush strokes and saturation levels and sizes of brushes to just sort of feel it. And then I did this color one. Like I said, I added pencil to get the colors I wanted because it didn't quite get enough color. And then I lost the translucence I like, is my aesthetic. Okay, then I did this guy, which is a wisteria branch. Bo, if you're going out to the kitchen, would you take that water and bring me back clean water in this little pitcher here? So here's the wisteria I did. That's just Sumi. And what I'm going to do now in front of you is I'm going to add some lavender to the flowers, and we're going to see how that works. And like I said, I like to keep learning, so I'm often trying things I've never done before, but that's okay because it's all about having a good time. It's all about enjoying creative reverie, which is the act of creating. So we're going to take a little bit of this purple. I suppose I should be doing this in front of the camera.
Be careful not to mix those things.
Yes. One of my things in life is not to waste anything. So I literally had some watercolor paints that were more than a decade old. So they had dried out. So I had to cut the bottom of the tubes and scoop them out. And then I had to saturate them with water to get them viscous again. And so these little containers are full of water. So I have to make sure I don't spill it. And now I'm looking for my metal chopstick. And this time I'm going to add some acrylic white to the watercolor to make it
so beautiful.
Thank you. To make it a lovely lavender. We're looking for lovely lavender here. I'm going to get that out of the camera's view. And we're going to, ooh, yeah, now we're getting a color I like. Now the difference between watercolor and acrylic is acrylic, once it dries, like in your dish, you can't resaturate it to use it again. So that's one of the reasons I prefer watercolor, but as you can see, I'm fine mixing mediums. And the other thing about acrylic is it's got a chemically smell, so I always put the lid on not to smell it or let it dry out. And now we're going to get this where the camera sees it. Is that positioned correctly? Okay, now this is a big brush for this, but we're going to go for it anyway. Ooh. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's pretty. My mother was, fine art trained, graduated from a fine art school, went to the museum all the time growing up in Boston. And so she was consummately classically trained, and I'm just a explorer. So I just do try. And she, as I've shared before, wouldn't give me any techniques. Even when I asked for it, she said, if you learn the rules, you'll just have to forget them. And that kind of is my way, is to just try stuff, see what I like. And she said another thing that was most interesting. She worked in studios, art studios after graduating, and she was a fantastic artist. She had a way of capturing the feeling in a person with just a simple pencil drawing. But she said, most unusually, it's unusual for artists to just keep going and then you stop when it's done. And a lot of artists, and I understand, overwork things because you kind of get intoxicated with the detail, and you kind of you get high doing it, and you want to keep going. And it's easy to overdo. Now we can see with this, once I added the acrylic, it got less opaque. That is one of the other reasons I love just watercolor, is that it has a translucence. But I'm liking it for this. I'm good with it for this. Just don't want to overdo, so I'm adding a little water. And is the art in the right place? No, that's okay, sweetie.
The art looks like it's in the right place to me. Yep.
Good, thank you. All right. Now we're just going to let that settle. And the next thing I'm going to demonstrate is doing the branch. I wanted to do the wisteria on one that's dry, so we didn't have any the black polluting the lavender. But I'm pretty happy with that. And now we're going to get a test sheet. I find one side of this has a plastic backing, so you want to make sure if you're using this giclée paper, fabric, material, whatever it's called, you don't paint on the plastic side. So we're going to just let this dry. Maybe there. Ew, that's really quite lovely, if I do say so myself. That's another thing that's unusual, my mother said. I appreciate my own work. I feel like, we are our own coach. When you're an artist, you have to be your own boss, your own coach, your own critic, your own audience. And so, I don't think everything I do is excellent, but some of it is nice, quite nice. And some of it, I see what I would like to do differently next time. So now I'm going to do a branch in front of the camera, just to demonstrate how simple that can be. And all right, let's go from top down. Let's go. I don't know why I do the sound effects, but like I said, I like to paint like I'm dancing, and the sound effects help me sometimes. Like it's music, it's visual music.
Joni B said, "Oh wow, I was looking for watercolor paints and I found a Sumi-E kit my sister got for me. I never opened it because it intimidated me. Now I feel confident to try it with the bamboo. Thanks to you, Claire."
Hey, that makes me so happy, Joni. That is really, I got chills. And the thing is that I love creating. I do believe finding creative reverie and the beauty in nature to get through tough stuff in my life, save my life, that the having a safe place to express my emotions, having the serenity that creating can give us, saved my life. So of course I want to share that with others. And the judge, you said, you know, she's been through so much. How come she's not on death row? Her story's like the women on death row. Well, this is why, because I found creative reverie and the endless inspiration in nature to give me a safe, beautiful source of inspiration that I always had access to. Nobody can take our imagination away from us. No matter what our circumstances, it is something we can and will always have if we give it to ourselves. So it's a resource that can save us, just make life more enjoyable, pleasant, happier, more peaceful. So that's why it's what I want to share with others. It's what I have that can help others, and who doesn't want to share what's helped them to help others. So now we're going to put some, I'm liking this branch, I gotta say, but there again, I'm liking my work. But you know, why not? Why not like your own work? Why not appreciate yourself for trying? Why not say, oh, I can do better than that sometimes, and let me try again? Why not? Who gets hurt? Nobody. Who gets helped? Everybody. The more peaceful we are, the more peace we bring into the world. So there we go. All right, now I'm going to add some leaves. And I think we're going to start here. Okay, so one of the things, it's another one of my policies, is step away soon enough so that you don't overdo. Give yourself a little perspective break. And now we're going to come back to this wisteria. See what we got here. Well, other than maybe putting a moon in it, I like it simple like this. So I'm going to have a very minimal pigment. And I'm going to go for a
Joni B on YouTube. Very energizing to watch. Love the tree branch.
Thank you. Now I saturated the brush with a lot of water so that this and now I'm going to, if I had a paper towel, which I should have here, but I don't, can you grab me one? The toilet paper's closer. Take a little of that dark out of the moon. Just a little piece instead of the whole roll. That's kind of unattractive. So this is something we can do, is daub up. And I still would like it lighter. Oh, wrong brush. Okay, well, I just polluted my water, but okay, so there's another thing we can do. Is just well, since I'm doing this in front of the camera, I'm not going to stop and go get clean water. I'm just going to see what happens if I think we're good. Okay. Like I said, it's all an experiment. So we're going to have a little cloud across the moon here. And it makes it look like Saturn. Okay. Just felt like with this branch, all the angularness of the wisteria buds and leaves and branch, that something round was a nice contrast. So there we go. Now we've got a moon and some clouds. Whoop.
On YouTube, Sumner Madison, gorgeous and wonderfully creative.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being here and thanks for your comments. I really appreciate it. It's very different for me to, well, work in front of a camera and work knowing people are watching me. And I'm getting used to it. And the good of facing that discomfort in the beginning, because creating has always been a place of solitude and silence for me, is that I get to connect with you, and it's a really lovely feeling. So I'm going to leave this alone here because that's what I like to do, is get perspective breaks. So I'm going to take this back over. And I quite often work on more than one thing at once, so I can go back and forth and I don't have to stop the creative process, but I can get perspective breaks. And whether it's writing, painting, designing stencils, wardrobe, decor. Now I'm just going to make up some little flowers because I have this lavender here, and see what happens, just for fun, because that's what we're doing. We're having fun. Part of the reason I love the simple, elegant, distilled aesthetic that's often in Asian art is it leaves so much for the imagination to fill in. And I like that about any kind of art, whether it's music or paintings or dance. It's just, I want my imagination to get to play and fill in. So leaving it, I can respect photo realism, and I have done some painting that you can, see, and I call it dreamlike realism, that, some people like to do and appreciate photorealism, but for me, that's what cameras are good for. And even cameras, I like it when it's leaves openness for our own imagination to fill in a story. All right. Well, there we go. So this was done. Shall I hold it up? Okay. Okay. And then I stop and take a break and come back later to decide if things are done. And when they feel done, they're done. And I try not to mess with it and just go on to what's next. So what'll be next? Maybe we come back out here now. I think it's time.
Clare Boisano said, thanks for the reminder to take a perspective break. Very helpful.
Thank you. And Claire, you are an excellent artist. I love your work and your spirit. And I'm very happy that I have something that helps you. Your work helps me. Any creativity, enthusiasm we share with others is helpful. Everybody has their own way, and I learn by watching. I've known a lot of incredible artists, people, intelligent, thoughtful, deep people, wise people, and I like to watch them work. And that was always my way. So it's kind of fitting that that I'm letting you guys watch me work. So we'll continue, and in this series we are going to go from branches to mountains, waterfalls, fields. We'll do birds, we'll get some deer, we'll do all kinds of things in these live streams every Monday and Thursday at noon. And I love to hear what you want to see more of, less of, any comments you have, and what helps you is really gratifying to hear. And I love being a help for you to enjoy your creativity. So thank you so much for watching. And Bodhi, are you ready to show the website where they can see my work?
Yes.
Bodhi made me a web store, and he's going to put that up. And my memoir, Incandescence Rising Above Darkness, has 68 pieces of my art in it and 40 more photographs of different creative things I do. I call myself a creative generalist because I started with dance because I didn't need anything else other than myself, my body, and the inspiration of nature around me. So then it was designing with found objects, then, wardrobe, interiors, painting, writing, drawing, anything I need, I try to make so that I can enjoy the process and have the time creating. Huh?
That's me saying ding. There's some comments. Claire Boisano said, beautiful, enjoy being with you today. Joni said, lovely, lovely. I had a need for lavender, I think quoting you. And before I pass it back to you, you can check out her work on patreon.com/Clare Cooley. That's a great way to support her work, and you get access to all of her stencil designs. Her YouTube channel is The Creativity Show. Please like and subscribe and leave some comments. That really helps us keep growing the channel. Her book is Incandescence Rising Above Darkness. You can find on Amazon. You can just type in her name on Amazon, or you can go to incandescencebook.com to see all of the different places you can get her book. And then her art website is clarecooley.com. And you can go right to the web store if you go to clarecooley.com/shop. All of those links are in the description of the videos to make it easy for you guys to get to.
Right. Well, thank you so much. And I'm so grateful for the Arrowhead Regional Arts Foundation giving me a grant to do these live streams, and to Bodhi for all his technical assistance, and so grateful to every one of you for watching and hopefully sharing with a friend or two or as many as you want. And I love the growing on the grassroots, one person helping another. The more time we spend in creative joy and the more we restore our peace through creative reverie, the healthier the world gets, not just us. So let's give ourselves permission to enjoy our childlike wonder. So see you on Thursday.